This is super exciting because this is my third interview with you, Ange, and the first two were dope. This one, though, I knew was going to happen. And I just didn't know exactly when, but I always knew working with you, once you started your business, I was like, she will definitely hit 10K a month and you'll go beyond that. Like this 10K thing is like, we're going to celebrate it now, but you will go so beyond that. But I always knew this was going to happen. And especially recently, which I know we'll get into what we've gone through recently in April, kind of coming back to this. I was like, you're going to hit 10K. I know you're going to hit it. So I'm here with Ange, right? My superstar client. I've got a lot of great clients. This is really, you're my first ever client I've ever had. Rapid Fire Music helped you get better at producing, then helped you with your business. We've been working together for 2.5 years now. That's cool. And
Crazy.
yeah, and you went from being a 19-year-old college student to now being a 21-year-old making 10K a month on pace to make six figures as a music producer.
Yeah.
How the fuck you feeling?
Feeling pretty cool, honestly. When you think about it, like I have the same feeling as you in terms of this past few months. Like it felt like it was going to happen. And it's sort of like I knew it was going to happen in a way. It was more of a matter of like when. Um, but when you think about the whole like journey, especially like with you and I of working together for like over 2 years, that's when it's crazy because this is not when we met, this wasn't even my goal. This wasn't even on my mind. Like, yes, I wanted to make money as a musician, but that wasn't why we even started working together. So to think that honestly, 3 years is not even 3 years, it's less than 3 years, is not even that long in terms of like your whole lifespan. So the fact that this all happened within that 3 years is pretty crazy to me.
That is crazy. Hmm. Yeah, that's funny that you talked about when we first started working together, which originally was like to help you be better at producing music.
Yeah.
Okay, so usually on these interviews, there is one common question that I'll ask, but I'm gonna ask it to you a little different. The question I ask usually is, where were you before we started? But
Mm.
where you were before we started was 2.5 years ago, and it was, learning how to produce. So here's what I would like to know. Let's change that question. We went through, we talked about the peaks and valleys. We talked about it last night on our group call. Peaks and valleys, peaks and valleys. I want you to again walk us through that. Walk me through that again. Like I want to hear more about that. What were the ups and the downs, the peaks and the valleys that you've gone through? And basically what I want you to do is give me the timeline up to April this year because I know in April was when you were like, I'm fucking locking in. And I also
Yeah.
was too with my own thing. And you and I were both like, we're fucking locking in, like, quit fucking around. So I want you to give me
Yeah.
everything from like the moment we start working together in rapid fire. I want to hear about all the peaks and the valleys all the way up to April. And then we'll zoom in on that.
Yeah. So okay, so we started working together was I think January or February. I was like
January.
just freshly 19. Like that's my birthday. So for the first, I think 3, 4 months, it was 3 months. I think it was like January to March, right? Was the program. It was just making songs. And I think I had made your goal was like one song in 3 months. I think I made two in like 2 months, and then we
Yep.
just moved forward. Um, and what I loved about that time is we had so many one-on-one calls because I was one of the first clients, like
Go
we did
first.
so many yeah, the first. Yeah. It was like the coaching calls was like I think I got like 12 or something, like some kind of outrageous number.
Yeah.
And then we would also like talk on WhatsApp like all the time. Um and like now we do on Slack still, so like that remains. But yeah, so I think like where I started then, the goal was just make songs. Like my mindset going into it was be an artist, and I'm learning how to produce my own songs faster. Like I was really inspired by Russ. I was like, I'm gonna be like a self-producing artist. I'm gonna drop all these songs. Like that's what I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna make money from streaming. Like that was my whole mindset. I even thought I was gonna make money from streams, which is insane to think about now.
Mm.
Um, and that was honestly a full upswing for a good like 6 months, honestly, until even getting into when you and I started talking about the business. I remember specifically you told me to like make it like I couldn't start selling music until I was making a beat like every day. And so I think you gave me a challenge, or I set a challenge that was like make a beat every day for a month. And I
Hmm.
remember doing that. And that was like that was what gave me a whole lot of catalog, honestly, to start selling beats because then I had lots of beats stacked up. And some of those beats, even what's crazy too, is there's like some beats that I sold, 2 months ago that were beats I made in 2023. Um,
Wow, that's cool. I never knew that. And I also completely
yeah.
forgot that I ever said that to you.
Yeah, because I think at the time I'd only made like 4 or 5 beats and I made like the 2 songs. And you were like, okay, well, you need to make some more beats until you can actually like sell beats as a
I do
producer.
remember. Hmm.
So yeah, and then I think going up into like the first few months there were like all highs. It was like I closed 7 clients the first month and I was doing all cold outreach. And even though I was working full time actually in the summer and I still did it. Like I was so driven and dedicated to like making this work. And one thing was I saw it start getting some of the fruits of that. I was like, great, we're gonna keep going. And then I think until I went back to school, it was all highs. And I think
And
that's sort of the common theme
my
as
bad to
well.
cut you off. I have a question about this. I
No,
just don't want to forget.
yeah,
So, and I'm so sorry to cut you off, but you
mm,
you said something there that I really want to double click on. You
yeah,
said, because dude, getting 7 custom production clients in the first 30 days of
yeah,
all the clients I've worked with, that's the best first 30 days I've seen with any client for sure.
yeah.
But you said something, and I'm like, I'm keep wondering. I keep trying to analyze you, Ange. I wish I could bring all my clients into a laboratory and get your guys' DNA and figure out what's going on.
Like picking our brains.
Yeah, because you have accomplished. Okay, I don't give a shit. I'll say the truth. You've accomplished more than any of my other clients. However, I wouldn't say you're the most qualified. You're the youngest client I've ever worked with by a landslide. 19, 20, and 21.
Yeah,
Not even in your 20s at first, right? You're 19. And I've got other people who are like, I'm like, hey man, let's go, let's go, let's go. So I'm like, you said that I was so dedicated and so hungry. I want you to define what dedication and hunger means to you.
that's a good question. I th- I think a lot of it was. I think it's you got to think about what drives you. Um, for me, what was fueling me was like proving everyone else wrong. Because for me, every like going into the program I did, like studying the music business, that even alone was like a crazy thing in my family and my friends. So
Mm,
for me, like doing music, pursuing that as a business, that was not at what anybody thought. Nobody thought I was going to be successful. Nobody thought I was going to make a living doing that. And if I did, they didn't think it would be so fast. That was like also like even me, I didn't think it was going to be so fast. My mindset, even with us working together, was like I'll be like 30 and like that's when I'll be able to like eat. That's actually what I thought. Um,
interesting.
so a lot of it, I think for me, it's like what drives you. And I think for me, it was just like proving people wrong. And that I know there's that saying it's like rage or anger drives you like until a certain point, and then it's like peace. I think honestly, even now, I think I'm still in like not necessarily anger. It doesn't feel like I don't feel like I'm holding on to anger, but I feel like a lot of what drives me is more of the negative things of like
Yeah.
either fear or like
Yep.
you fear of going back, like to where I was when we can talk about, April and stuff, but like fear of starting over. That now I think is a big one for me. Like I don't want to go back to 2K a month, like ever. 2K, also 2K to me is now zero. Like
It's like
2K,
less than zero.
yeah, exactly. I remember you said that to me sometime in like April, and I was like, this guy has no idea what it's like, but you do. It's just crazy. It's different. Once you start making like anything more than 5, 6K, like 2K is zero.
Yeah, well, yeah, we could go into all that, but like, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It depends on your bills. But yeah, so okay, anyway, I just wanted to double click on that and what you're motivated by because
Mhm.
that's important to know. Because I've noticed it's funny, I was DMing with a client and I was like, I don't know what's going on with him really. He hasn't responded much or given me context. And I was just like, ugh, like I don't know. But you know what? He sent me a message and I said, oh, okay, this guy's hungry. He's like, because he's like, right now he's not running ads right now. He's like, I'm just cold DMing. And I'm like, oh fuck, okay. And he was like, I'm going to get a client in the next 30 days. Like I'm going to send 50 cold DMs. Like he's like, dude, by any means, I'm going to get a client. I was like, cool, got it. He's got the hunger,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah.
anyway, okay. So I want to come back to the timeline here. I want to keep hearing about these ups and downs you've been going through.
Yeah, so that was pretty much upswing until I went back to school. So September now, 2023, 2020, yeah, 2023. So
September.
I'm
Okay.
in second year. No, I'm starting my third year at this point of my degree. And third year in my program is supposed to be like the hardest. So it was like you take one extra course. Um, and I think I like did not go to school like for like most of it. Like I did not, and I'm not even upset about it. Like would like do the things, I would socialize to an extent, but I was so focused on business. And I think that was a transition there, though. That was, I think, the valley was the switch between cold DMs and paid ads. Like that for those 4 months there, like that sort of fall semester, September to like December, it was like I was doing the cold DMs and then I switched to paid ads in November. And I did get a client, but I went slowed down from getting like 3, 4 clients a month. Like I got one client because I wasn't sending any cold DMs. I was only running ads. So I think the valley there for me was the making a rapid switch. I think in hindsight, I should have like kept doing the cold DMs, even if it was 30 a day, and then also ran the ads because I was only running like 15 a day. So I think for me, the valley was like I made it too big of a change. And then I it's not even that I didn't get clients. It's that I didn't get clients at the same pace that I used to get clients.
Okay.
And that I think made me feel like my business was slowing down. But that wasn't the worst of it at all. Like that was like a really minor valley, like, small dip. Um, and then we go into like the next year, 2024, and that was a great first 4 months for me. That was probably the best 4 months of my business like ever at that point. It was like
Interesting.
it was very similar to the way that the last 4 months have gone, where it was like I did like it was like 3K, 4K, 5K, like in 6 subsequent months. Um, and that's when I burnt out hard at the end of that semester. Like that's when I burnt out really hard. It was like 3 months of not really doing much, not like closing clients, not running ads. Or if I was running ads, I was definitely like burning leads. Like I wasn't DMing them properly. Like, you know what I mean? Like going through all the things that I would do if I um was in a better state. And I think that probably came from it being a really hard, like full time year in school, but then also being like full time mentally in business. Like even if I wasn't working 40 hours a week, I was thinking about it every hour of the day. And I put so much pressure on myself too to like my goal was to do 10K while I was in school. So that
Yeah.
I think I was probably pushing a little too hard on myself, which I'm not saying it was not possible. It probably was possible, but full time in school and full time in the business, probably not like sustainable. If I was doing part time in school, which I could have done if I thought about it more in that way,
Mm.
maybe then I could have like if I was part time in school, full time in the business, that's more balance. Like I know that's still a lot, but it's still like it's something you can still balance, and I'd still be able to finish, in my opinion, too. That's like also for my output. Like I'm pretty fast with those things, so for me, like taking 3 courses or 2 courses versus 5 or 6 would have been a lot easier in hindsight.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's helpful to know that. And so we got into like you had a little bit of an upswing and then you got burnt out. Dude, I
Mhm.
want to hear about like the right before, basically like the right before April when you were like considering not doing production as a business and all of that, and you were like going back and forth with should I be an artist? What am I gonna do? I really want to dive into that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, um, what's crazy too is that best month that I had, the 5K month, I only did it once, which is like insane. But I was like the top of my like that was the peak at that point. And that was right before I burnt out. So um and then going into the next school year, I was basically my mindset was let's just finish this degree, just get it fucking done.
Yeah.
And like, I can grow my business more after. Like I wasn't going to not do business, but I didn't wasn't so quick with like, I wasn't running ads. I wasn't trying to get new clients like in the same pace that I am now. I was like getting 1 to 2 new clients a month. And
Mm.
that was just cold DMs. And so that was like the fall. And I think I was doing that and I wasn't really feeling as attached or like committed to it. I don't know if commitment is the right word. It's more like I wasn't feeling as like it's not even dedication. It's more invested, like personally invested. I wasn't feeling as like that. If that makes sense. I wasn't feeling like it was necessarily something I could keep doing alone. Like I think if I was just doing the producing still at that point, that if I was still doing the producing at this point, I wouldn't be at 10K because I wasn't giving myself enough like lenience. So I think that's when it kind of gets into the aspect of like my own artistry, and that's when I started making music again. And that was in the fall. It was like October or so. It was like the first time in like 2 years. I basically since I made the songs with you in Rapid Fire that I made music for myself, and that is what sparked this whole artist. Am I going to be an artist? Am I going to be a producer? Am I going to like it? Can I do both? Is there a way to do both successfully? I really did believe at first there wasn't. Like I thought I had to do one or the other. So that's that sort of, I guess, when you start making music again, or you start making music at first and you get really giddy and you're like, oh my God, this is amazing. I'm never going to do anything else again. Like it's the best. Like that's how I felt because I hadn't done it in so long. And it was so much of an emotional reaction, which now I can see, but in the midst of it, didn't really see that way. And that's why I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be an artist. And I did that for like 3 months and I didn't even really like I made money. I released an EP. I had like a lot of fun in some respects, but I had no money. Like I wanted to go to like open mics or I wanted to go to like film stuff or I wanted to do whatever. And I was had to like look at my bank account and say, okay, how much can I actually spend? Versus now I'm shooting a music video next week. I'm going to the studio tomorrow and I didn't think twice about either of those things. And so that sort of thing is like um the balance now that I've found of being an artist and being a producer at the same time is I think the happy medium that's allowed me to get to 10K and farther.
Okay. Is giving your, yeah, we've talked a lot about that. It's interesting. You and we're so similar.
I
Is
know.
like for me, I have my business where I teach music producers how to make money. Previously, I was teaching recording artists how to produce. That was like my monetization model. The music, I was like, dude, I don't care about making money with the music. I want to make music. I don't even almost, and this
Yeah.
is a fault of mine, I don't even care if I release it. I just love making it. Not, I'm trying to
Yeah.
get better with that, but my point is like, I was like, I need to just scratch my itch. And I don't need
Yeah.
to make money from it. I just need to scratch the itch. And I think you're the same. You're like, dude, I want to make money making music, which you're doing. And I also want to make my own music and have a creative outlet.
Yeah. It's basically that. And so it's like, and also I like serving my clients. Like I enjoy being a music producer. I enjoy having clients. I enjoy like a lot of it. There, of course, there's like little things sometimes that you're like, I don't want to do this, but that's anything. So I, yeah, for me, it's a lot of like, I want to make my own music. And I also do like making the content. Like, I like filming the like performance reels or whatever. And I like
Yeah,
doing
they're
that kind of
cool.
stuff. Yeah, it's fun. And honestly, you're right. I don't care if I make money. I mean, luckily, I don't know if it's luckily, sorry. I guess I strategized in a way. And for the music video that I'm filming next week, I did like fund it with the pay what you want offer, or no, sorry, with a direct to fan offer, which is cool. So it was also because part of my mindset was like music videos are usually just a money suck. Um, but I did want to make a music video, and then I got some like polls and stuff, saw if there was like demand, and I ended up funding it through that. So that worked out really well for me. Um, but at the same time, even if I didn't, I still probably would have done the music video just for fun. It's almost
Yeah.
like a hobby. Like it's like music, making music is the hobby in a way. It's professional level, but it's like I'm not looking to monetize this.
Yeah, but
Um,
here's the thing with you though. You are monetizing it. You are monetizing it through being a producer.
Yeah. Yeah,
Music,
that's the thing for me. Yeah.
exactly. Music
Um,
sells everything but itself. Your music sells your production services because what do? You produce, you mix, you master. You put out dope ass music and then you pitch someone on production, they're going to be like, I believe you. You make dope music. You know, for me, it's a little harder now, but even then, it's like that's the emotional connection people have with me. They see that I make this music. They see I'm really in this shit. So when I talk about, yo, I really make money with this, they're like, yo, I fucking resonate with the emotions you put behind your music. And I resonate with like the fact that you're making money with it is dope. So it's going to be the same. It's going to be the same for you. And I'll ask you this for me, when I made my first 10K month and then 20K and I was making six, I mean, I'm making six, once I started making six figures, that fueled my music more than anything. Even though the music wasn't getting Spotify streams and it wasn't like making money from the music, I was like, I want to go cook so badly because now I felt like the music was making me the money and it created the space for me.
I think it also gives you the time back. Like in a way of when you're making music and you have no money, it's like making music right now is not the thing I need to be doing.
Yeah.
When you're all have a model to make money, and like for me now, I used to take off 1 day a week, now I take off two. And so on that second day, I'm just making music. Like I'm not really doing much else. It's like that's my Monday basically. It's like I'll do some content, like scripting ideas, and then I'll make music. And that is sick. Like I was not able to do that in, April or March because even though I was a artist full time, I wasn't making more than like 2K a month. And that was just from the clients that I already had that were just paying me on subscription.
Mm, I love that. That's so fucking dope. So, right before April, you were like artist, producer, but basically you were like, cool, I did the artist thing for like 3 months, but goddamn, I'm broke. I probably could have made more money. What was it in April?
Yeah.
What happened in April where we were like, yo, let's get locked in?
A lot of it was my conversations with you. To be honest, we would have so much, I would go on a long walk. It's like spring is a great time here to go out. And it's like, I would go on a long walk. We would talk on the phone about like these. You were a really great soundboard, I will say, because I would say the same thing over and over, and you would just listen and give me advice. And like you never made me feel like I was dumb or like, lazy for going through this change versus
Mm,
pretty much like a lot of other I made myself feel like that. Or like some other people in my life that know that I'm a high achiever would kind of make me feel like that. So I basically, yeah, you were a really great soundboard. And so I basically I think it was I almost like hit my I don't want to say rock bottom, more of a like, this is as I can't keep doing this. I think that's what I realized. It was like I can't keep not making money, wanting to make music, not making enough money off my music. I made like, I don't know, probably like $200 a month off my actual music, which is great, I guess, for like an artist perspective, but um wasn't that's not livable, right? And I was not going to get a job. I applied for a job. I got through like I applied for a couple jobs. And I got through the entire phase of like all the interviews and whatever, the background checks. I got to the offer and I actually said no in April
you
or
said
May.
no to them?
April, yeah, at the end of April. And I think I probably in a lot of respects, a lot of like people would say I shouldn't have done that. Even myself, I was like, this is a risky decision saying no. So it was like 5K a month. I was making like 2K a month barely. Um, and
Wow, this is a pivotal moment. I didn't even know about this.
yeah, because I applied for a bunch of jobs and it was like also a really cushy job. It was like you work from home, it's like virtual customer service, like really like basic shit. But I actually had somebody say something to me that was like, you're gonna do that for not even 2 days and be so bored. And that's probably true. But it was also like I was at this point where I graduated and I was like, I'd done all this shit already of like being a music producer. I proved to myself I could make at least 5K a month while I was in school. So like imagine if I wasn't in school, I could be easily doing 10. And that's when I had to bet on myself, to be honest. And what's crazy is you and I had a call where we like laid out if I sent, X amount of cold DMs, this is what I would make. And we did like, I think it was April, May, June, July or something, or I think it was to September. So it was like May to September kind of like projections of like what that would look like and like when
Mm,
to start running ads. You and I had talked about in July could be 5K. And I remember us saying that and like the math said it, but I was thinking like shit, 5K in like 3 months, can I do that? I made 5K in July and then I made 7.5 in August. So it actually was right and attainable. But yeah, that I think the moment for me was that getting that job offer and realizing, fuck, I don't want to do that. And then like I just don't want it was a good it's a good thing for somebody else. But because I have the flexibility of living at home rent free and all this shit already like set up for being a music producer, and I've already proved to myself I could do it, it just I had to bet on myself. I honestly think I would have regretted it a ton if I had taken that job. Um, so yeah, does that, I don't know if that answered your question. I think
yeah,
that
you
just sort
probably
of,
wouldn't have lasted at the job anyway. It's like 2 days you'd have been bored. You probably would have gone through the job for 1, 2, maybe 3 months, then you'd quit, and then you'd go
yeah.
right back to this. So really cool. I love the but it's just so funny, like when you bet on yourself, man, that's a whole nother conversation to think deep about.
Mhm.
I'm thinking about betting on yourself, and it's like, why wouldn't you bet on yourself? But then
Yeah. And
it's
it's
like,
also like I had spent years betting on myself. Like this whole time from when I was like 16 and started making music to being 21 and graduating, I bet on myself and it had worked out. So it's almost like if it already worked, why would I not do it again? If I was in a position where I'd never bet on myself before and I had no proven track record of actually making money as a music producer, that would have been a different conversation.
I just thought of a dope ass saying that I think we're gonna put it on a shirt.
Okay.
I don't bet on myself, I invest in myself. Because you know
Yeah.
what it is
SME.
when you bet on something, it's out of your control. Unless you're betting
That's
with
true.
somebody and then you compete with them. But
The house always wins.
yeah, that was always when you bet on something, it's a gamble.
Hmm.
It's a gamble. It's not a
Yeah,
sure thing. That's what a bet is. That's not what, but I don't bet on myself. I know I am a sure thing. I invest in myself. That's different. Whenever you say the word invest, what does it mean? You know the money's going to grow. So I always invest. I don't bet. Like I've
that's
never
true.
bet on myself. I always invest in myself because it's like I know I'm going to grow. I know I'm going to because also like you're probably like me. I'm a little I need control. Control
Yeah.
freak. Whatever. Call me a freak if you want. But I need
Yeah,
control. Why? Because why would I want someone else to control my destiny? What kind of stupid ass shit is that? That's why I don't fuck with like Spotify and sync and labels and dumbass shit like that. I'm like, no, why don't I just run ads and get clients to come pay me where I control the whole fucking process? So you didn't bet on yourself. You invested in yourself because you're like, nah, like I already did this shit and I know I could do more. And I always believed in you. And I was like, look, I remember that call and I have that note on my fucking iPad, Ange's numbers. It's in my notes. And we like went
yeah,
over your ad spend, how much you make per cold DM. Like we went really through the numbers over a 12-month span, which is a great data set to look at. And
yeah,
I was like, yo, your numbers check out, bro. Like you should be at 100K a year. You should definitely. And you're like, damn, you're kind of right. And then I think that was really the call that you were like, okay, it's possible.
yeah. I mean, you look at the data, that's how you know,
Yeah, it's fear,
right?
bro. That's what holds us back. It's fear. It's like we're afraid of some shit, whatever it is. Like, and there's a healthy level of fear. There's a healthy
What do
level
you
of
mean
fear.
by that?
Well, you said one of the things that motivates you, I think you said proving people wrong, but now it's like you have a fear that's propelling you, which is like I have the fear of going back. I have the fear of going broke. I have the fear. So that's a healthy amount of fear because that's the fear you want. You never want to lose fear. Once you lose fear, fuck that. It's not possible. Everybody has fear, and it's
Yeah,
okay. That's what's going to fuel you, right? But there's a difference between fear and depression and anger and anxiety. Those are different, all very different. I think fear is okay, but anxiety, depression, anger. Oh no, those are
yeah.
those are tricky. You don't want to play. I don't want to play with those.
That's interesting. It's like driving, right? If you're like an angry driver or like an angry
Yeah.
Or like an anxious driver. Those are like people say anxious drivers are like the worst like to cause accidents because they're not sure whether or not to like stop or like go. So that's actually really interesting. I think fear, I don't really see it as a negative in a way. I almost like it's more natural. I think it's kind of like what you were saying. Like I think I should be afraid of certain things, but I also don't let my fear hold me back. Um, like if I was afraid of, I used to be really afraid of spiders. Like dead,
Huh.
like I like genuinely would not go. If I would saw one, I would call my brother, my mom. One time, my sister and I actually had one on like the kitchen floor, and we trapped it with a cup because both of us were too afraid to kill it. And
That's so
so
funny.
yeah, and but then now I'm like like I gradually started getting myself to like kill the spider, and now I'm like if I see a spider, I don't care at all. I'll kill it. I don't care, and it doesn't like I'm not afraid of it. And so I feel like for me, I was like, am I really going to be afraid of spiders for the rest of my life? Like, come on. And which is fine, like for some people. For me, I was just like, it's almost like a test, like a small test that you can use in other areas of your life.
I love
Um,
it. That's so funny.
yeah,
That's
but
good. But
yeah, we genuinely did that. I'm like not kidding at all. My mom came down the next morning and was like, why is there a fucking cup with a spider on the ground?
oh, and y'all left it there overnight?
It was like 2 in the morning when we found it.
That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Just step on it. Put on a shoe and step on it. But no, it's funny. So, but fear, you're right. But fear is a good motivator. Dude, I gotta make a video about this in my course. I want to make a video about the three things that you need to have. You need confidence, you need commitment, and you need fear. I think you should be
Hmm.
afraid of repeating the past, and I think you should be afraid of not. You should have a certain future that you're afraid of. Like I'm afraid this will happen in the future. That'll propel your ass.
Oh, yeah, yeah, that
Think
will.
about the anti-dream life. We think
Yeah.
about our dream life. Think about the anti-dream. What's your anti-dream? What's the worst thing?
That is actually what motivated me to not take that job. It's like I thought about 6 months down the line. I'm like, am I going to be in this fucking job for 6 months? And also, I didn't think genuinely I was going to stay there, but I was like, what if I did stay there? Like, what if I was a customer service person for the next like 10 years? I would hate myself,
Yeah,
and I would be
10
so
years.
upset. Yeah.
Dude, it's so funny that, man, you are like you have these I'm so jealous of you in the best way. I've said this a million times, but there's other things as we talk more and more, it starts to make me think, right? So, I mean, I'm 31. I'm 10 years older than you.
Yeah.
I'm like OG right now. I'm unk. But it's funny because now that I'm 31, I look at my life and I'm like, wow, I'm so happy with how I spent my 20s. Made some mistakes, but I'm definitely like overall, I'm like, dude, I really killed it in my 20s because I I just did everything I was supposed to do. I went in on a skill. I learned business. Like I didn't, there's nothing. And, but now that I'm 31, look at other people. This is, you know, douchey entrepreneur brain going off, but whatever. You look at other people and you're like, man, still working at the restaurant, still at the coffee shop, like still at a job you hate, still just doing
Yeah.
menial like retail work at 30 or 35. And it's like, what happens with your life. I watched a video from Myron Golden last night talking about designing your future life, and he was talking about bringing your future to the present, right? Thinking about your future and bringing it to right now. But he said the quote that really hit me. He said, if you don't like your current situation, like if you hate your current life, it's because you let it happen. You just let it happen, right? You didn't design. And I realized, I was like, shit, there's parts of my life I didn't design. And there's parts that I did.
Mm.
You're 21, 10K a month, 21 years old. You'll have up months, you'll have down months, but you're on a super upward trajectory. Super. Um, and you're doing the right things. Like it took me 13 years. I had to be 29 to get my first 10K month. You're 8 years ahead of me. You're not your lifetimes ahead of most people. I mean, I'm coaching producers older than me who've never
Yeah.
made 10K in a month in their life in anything.
Mhm.
And you're like 21 being like, "Yep, I'm out here." And don't take that for granted, right? Like you don't get it until you turn 30. Once you turn 30, you'll probably come across average people maybe, but you'll probably be in such high circles you won't even be around average people. But once you get to your 30s, you might come across another average person and realize, wow, I really spent my 10 years differently than they did. My question for you, what do you see happening in the next 10 years for you?
I try not to, so I try not to think more than like 2, 3 years in advance. 10 years is scary. Well, 10 years is, I thought about it a little more recently because I think once you start getting out of the 2, 3, like just making it by months, you can start to think more long term. Like that's something I've noticed in myself is I can start thinking into 2026 now and I'm not intimidated by that. Um, 10 years. Okay, so I actually think that I'm going to spend my 20s, most of them, working pretty hard. I do want to travel. But I also I want to travel and work. I don't want to be like a traveling music producer kind of thing. So that's actually one of the things I want to get next year is a new MacBook, like a MacBook Pro, because I have an Air. I want to get one where I can like it'll actually make music on it and I can travel, make content, and make music. That is something I want to do in my 20s. But by the time I'm 31, I want to like have a partner and a family and like be there around with my kids. That's what I
Whoa,
want.
cool. Wasn't
Mhm.
expecting that. Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah. I still want to work. Like I'm still gonna work, but like not at the same level, I think. I want to actually like there's a part of me that wants to be like a bit of a soccer mom. Like take my kids to like soccer practice and give them snacks. Like I
Me
think that's
too.
really cool.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna be the soccer dad. I'm gonna be a stay-at-home dad, but rich as fuck. You're
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
does daddy have a job? Because mommy goes to work and daddy doesn't, but it seems like he like makes a lot of money. Like I'm gonna be like, yeah, I do this internet thing.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's why when we were talking about team, like last night on the call, it scares me because I don't know anything about it. And I've never read books or studied like management or like hiring or and stuff like that. I've basically never looked into it, but I know that's sort of getting up into the next step, like in terms of getting to like 20, 30K a month, 50K a month. In my current vehicle anyway, it is going to be a bit of like having people around that I can hire or depend on, which is scary. But I also know that that's what's going to give me my freedom to have those things when I'm 30.
Hmm. Dude, we're getting about thinking deep in life, bro. I'm starting to think about some deep shit right now. I almost forgot we're recording a fucking YouTube video right here.
Yeah, I know.
Dude, this is so dope. I love it. And yeah, it's great. I mean, look, thinking about 10 years is tough, right? Because it's like, bro, I don't even know. Like next year, your fucking mind might change. Probably will. But it's kind
Yeah.
of fun to think about it and think, well, you could think about where you don't want to be in 10 years. That's easier. You could be like, oh, I know I don't want to be XYZ, right? That's hella easy to think about.
Mhm.
So that you could think about that and reverse engineer what you don't want.
Yeah.
Um, so let's think more short term because it's a little easier. We got end of year. What I don't want to know is let's talk about end of next year, December 2026.
Okay, so my goal December 2026 is I think it's like I have to do a quick math here. But top line at like 250. 250 is my goal annual 2026.
Okay. Cash collected, top line revenue.
Cash collected, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Um I feel like that's conservative too, which like maybe it is, maybe it's not. But we'll see. That's my goal. If I do basically the next this month, next like few months by January, February, I want to be like 20K. And then we'll just kind of see how that sort of scaling process goes. Obviously, I might hit stuff like you've hit, like with ads or whatever. But um, I think now that I've done 10K, it feels like 20K doesn't feel so far. It
No, it's
feels like
not.
it is more volume.
Well, bro, especially for you, like I've told you this a bunch of times, we have different advantages, pros and cons. My business model as a coach, I have the advantage of I can charge more upfront. Like I can easily make way more money upfront than you, but it's a lot
Yeah.
harder for me to have recurring
Yeah.
repeat clients. I've usually had people repeat with me like 2 or 3 times, maybe. Like they'll buy from me 3 total times at most,
Mm, okay.
right? So
Yeah.
the total lifetime is okay, but it
Yeah.
doesn't happen a lot. You are like, oh, it's very common. Most clients repeat. Very common because
Yes.
when someone needs a song, they need more songs always, and so they just stay with you, right? Both our LTVs probably average to maybe the same, but yours is like longer. But yours is interesting because this month 10K, 10.5K. Basically, half came from back end, meaning half of the people were repeats, half were brand new. But guess what that means? That means next month you'll probably do another 5 to 7K repeat.
Yeah.
So if you do another 5K in brand new cash, your business will either be the same or be increased just because the repeat stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I was thinking about that. I calculated it. I think it was like 6.5 or something because it was for this month. If everyone, pays through and everything is good, then, but honestly, the good thing that I would say now is my standards are so high. I don't have any clients. I have one client maybe that is like not consistent. Basically, all my clients have no problem with payments. Like their payments don't fail. They know the date when it's coming. Like we're pretty
Good.
good with that. But that's also because I've been somewhat flexible. Like I have clients that pay me 500 a month, but it's like 125 a week because they get paid every week and that's easiest for them. So like
Cool.
although I don't really, like that's not like the best for me. I'd rather have the one payment of what 500, but at the same time, what's the difference?
If
Um,
they're gonna pay it, what's the difference?
exactly.
How are
Because
you
if they
charging them,
know
by the way? Are they manually paying those, or how does that work?
Auto's subscription on Stripe.
Okay, got it. Okay, I was just
Yeah.
about to tell you that. Cool. So, but
But
that's
it
an
is
interesting,
in their agreement, though. That is auto. Like, I don't know if you do that, but it says like in their agreement that'll be auto charged.
interesting. No, I don't, but probably will. But that's interesting that you do that. So, we talked about this, but I'll ask now. For you going from where you are now to going to doubling your business and just really having kind of that unlimited scalability, like what is the bottleneck for you right now?
It's fulfillment. Um, but it's also DMs a little bit. Like I've the past 2 days since this month has started, I've gotten over 100 and something followers. And that I'm basically averaging like 50 a day and I'm only spending 30 a day. And even though I have someone now, thank you for you sending them to me to send the new follower message, but getting in the responses, like I do it like an hour in the morning. And then now I'm thinking I might do like another hour, like midday.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't want to lose the conversation. Like that's what was happening to me towards the end of September was like I would lose the conversation or I'd be like too many days. Like if I don't respond for 2, 3 days, I don't expect them to respond right away because I've already been like off, right? So
2, 3 days?
yeah, because I was losing
Oh,
them. I think like my unreads are like I would filter by unread, but only a certain amount of them will come up. I don't know if you've had this happen. I think I might have to like
yes. Oh my God, bro. You got to swipe down on your inbox and let it load.
okay, so it's not loading all the way through because I think there's just too many. So I gotta have to do that. And then because I have been flagging every single person to follow up, but now I'm thinking I don't know if that's the best thing to do. Maybe I flag just the ones that are like
Move them
hot,
to general, move them to the general inbox.
the ones that are not qualified.
No, the qualified ones. The ones you want to remember to follow up
Oh,
with, try moving them to general. That can help too.
oh snap! I've been doing the ones that aren't qualified. I'll throw them in general.
Oh, okay. Well, that works. Whatever you want to do. Yeah.
Yeah,
Separating those, I've heard that works. But for you it's interesting because you have the part you have down is like the part everyone dreams of, right? The client acquisition side. You have that down.
yeah,
Extremely profitable. Like you don't need to do anything different. You could just keep rerunning the new ad, or I'm sorry, the same ad as a new ad, spending more money. Like that's exactly it. Like it's the
yeah,
only thing. But you're like, well, bro, it's a done for you service. This is a manual done for you service that I need to fulfill that has it's quality. It's like mixing, mastering, production. So
Yeah.
for that, it's like you're gonna need to eventually either charge way more, like ungodly amounts, which is great,
Mhm.
or hire a team. You're gonna have to hire people to help mix for you.
Like when I look at it right now, I have one, two, three, four projects that came in from between Tuesday and today that are like things I need to do that just came in the past 2 days. And but the thing is, I have been doing is I'll give myself a little more time. Like they're not my clients are definitely not, they don't think I'm slacking or anything. But I will say, like, yesterday I had a call um with a client. We did like a workshop call to do like a beat revisions. And I did them all like on the call. So like I was like, great, that's done. So like that helped a lot because then I didn't have to go and do it after and send it over. But yeah, like I also do try to over deliver. Obviously, like I'm like one of my clients is really new to this. They were a referral. This is their first like professional song, and they asked for help with the songwriting. And I was like, cool, I'll go through the lyrics and see if I can help you out in any way. But like little things like that, I do want to do that. But it's also I was like, cool, I have to. It's going to be a little more time than for me to do those things and get it back to them.
Hmm. Well, I mean, that's gonna be that next thing for you. And I was talking about it on the call last night.
Yeah, I have a different perspective though. Um, but we don't have to talk about it. I mean, I don't know if it's like good for the interview.
This interview went all over the place. It's whatever you
Okay,
want. This is the
cool.
most
So,
valuable interview I've done by far. So we just
sick.
keep rocking and rolling.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. So you were talking about like hiring somebody like Austin Carl, somebody from Rapid Fire, and training them up. But then I was thinking, what I like about hiring like someone like Corey is that he's way better than me. So like I
Yeah.
am paying a little bit more, but my clients are getting a way better mix than they would because if I'm doing it now, especially with the time crunch, I'm spending like 2 hours max. Corey is not spending 2 hours. He's spending 2 hours like organizing his DAW. You know what I mean? So like,
Yeah, not really. Like what? You're so right.
so
We
that's
were on
why
a
I
call. We
do
were on
like
the.
hiring
I have to
Corey.
tell you this really quick. We were on the
Yeah.
rapid fire call on Monday, and we were working on fucking mixing a song for the album, and he's on his round of mixing. So I mixed first, then he'll mix. He spent the
Okay.
first fucking 15 minutes chopping out the dead spaces on all the vocals, and I'm like, can you skip this fucking part?
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, can you
Dude,
skip
it's
this
like,
and mix? And he's like, okay, yeah, yeah, my bad. I'll do it later. Like that's how he'll do it.
yeah, no, and he's great. I mean, Vic sounds fucking amazing,
For
but
sure. Yeah, no, of
um,
course. Yeah, he knows what he's doing.
yeah, no, but he does spend more time. Like he has more attention to detail. He has more time to spend, right? Versus like for me, I don't have 4 or 6 hours to spend on a mix. Like that's insane for me. So that yeah. So I do like hiring Corey. Actually, one of my future targets is like when I do hit like 20K a month would be just hire him on a retainer and
Yeah,
just do
that's
like X amount of projects.
you think of it like if you're a coach, it's called a client success manager. That
Yeah,
helps you with the back
exactly.
end, like an assistant coach. That's what he would somebody like him or somebody else. So I'm glad you're thinking about that, Ange, because here's what I don't want to see happen to you. Don't think small. Don't do that. Don't settle. Don't think small. Don't be comfortable. Don't use excuses like, oh, I'm okay with my business being at this point, as a one person business. It's just easier. Like, those are people who are afraid to grow.
Mhm.
That's an excuse.
Yeah.
Don't
Well,
be that.
that thought does come, but then I'm like, no, I know in my head, it's easier to be a one person business.
Yeah, it's
Like
easy. It's easy to maintain, but people who maintain will eventually die.
oh
People who
yeah, but it's
grow don't
also
die.
like if I'm spending every hour of my work week in my business, like am I working on the bit like who's the owner? Is it me or is it the business? You know what I mean? Like you feel like you're pretty much attached to it because it won't grow. Nothing will happen if you don't do anything.
That's right.
Like I don't want to be in that position. So I have thought like I did think about this actually last night after the call. I was thinking about this. And I know it's easier and because I'm comfortable now. It's easier now because I have the system down. I know what I have to do to get clients and to fulfill them. But at the same time, I don't want to be like if I'm going to be 30 and I'm going to have a family, let's say that is my end goal or 10-year goal. I can't be sending DMs all day and mixing and mastering and having sales calls.
Hell no. Dude, you're gonna
Right?
be, bro, in less than 10 years from now, you are not gonna be producing music.
Yeah,
10
probably.
years from now, you
I-
won't be. Less than 10
It'll just
years
be
from
for
now,
fun.
yeah, you will have a coaching program. You will be doing coaching. You will be charging 5, 8, 10K. You will be doing something way bigger. You're gonna graduate from this. Because you're gonna get sick of
I
working with
yeah,
artists eventually. You're gonna be like, I'm fucking done with this shit. I'm a fucking level 10 person. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm running ads. I'm selling. Like I have skills. I'm sick of hearing from these artists who don't have a pot to piss in. Like you will get to that point. And you're gonna, but you go get there, max out. Like,
yeah,
but then eventually you're gonna be like, dude, I just made 20 grand a month as a fucking producer. I'm gonna start a coaching program like Leezy the Gifted did. But you're gonna go further than me. But like, dude, try to max this out. Cause right now, like you have something. The cool thing too, it's not just about the vehicle you're in, but it's also about the industry and the space. So what do I mean by that? The vehicle you're in is your business, right? So what's included in the vehicle, I should make a video about this. This is pretty smart. But what's included in the vehicle is like you as the driver, but it's also how do you get clients? How do you fulfill them, right?
yeah,
All of that. How profitable. Those are all the things that creates the vehicle, but it's also where are you driving? What road are you on? So within the music industry, that's a huge road. That's a big open road. That's
yeah,
pretty much endless. And it's evolving. Because now with the internet and social media, there's a lot more Leezy the Gifteds, Anges, Billy Big Shots, Legion Beats. There's a lot of other of these internet producers who are like, no, we're doing we're combining online internet marketing with music. But guess what? You still do have you still got that traditional music industry, right? You still got placements with artists as a potential thing for you. And you're probably more
yeah,
likely to get those because you're growing a following and you're doing social media and you're becoming legitimately, you are becoming famous. You are building a brand, right? Guys like Beautiful
yeah.
Beats and Kyle Beats, those guys have chances to get placements and they do because they have brands. And that's what you're building, right? And not only are you, and a lot of those guys, this is no knock to either of them, but a lot of those guys, they've built their whole business organically, which is great. You're building a
Mm.
business on paid ads, which is way faster to scale and way more profitable. So,
Well, yeah.
yeah,
For
it's
them, I think it's
more profitable with time. Theirs is more
yeah, yeah,
profitable
yeah,
with money, but not with time. Yours is more profitable with time.
yeah. I agree. I also though sometimes I look at their content. I like so I've been thinking a lot about the kind of brand that I want to build just the past 2 days because I was talking to Chris about it. And I think the content that I like is very different than the content that's like I like more professional looking, like cinematic looking content. Um and I think a lot of my content does resonate. That's why it works. That's why my ads are working. But I feel like Beautiful Beats as an example, like he used to make really fucking cool content. Now his content's kind of like memes and like I don't know if you've noticed this, but it's a lot of like meme stuff. And I don't know. I feel like the thing with organic is that there's a line between am I a music producer and an artist or am I an influencer?
Hmm.
And I don't want to be a fucking influencer.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's a good distinguishment you made, though. What do you mean by
Yeah.
that exactly? Actually, I kind of want to know what you mean.
Like influencer meaning I like the idea of I have a personal brand, I think. Like, yes, I have an artist brand, but I have a personal brand. Like there's like some personal stuff in my page. I talk about like my life, whatever. Um, influencer, I think, is like people who just like follow trends and like make these like dumbass dance videos and shit. Like I think it's great if that's what you want to do, but I know for me that's not what I want to do. I do like the idea of brand partnerships or whatever, and maybe down the line that's something I'll explore, but it's not something that I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make my money this month by partnering with this brand and like hoping that they pay me or whatever, or hoping that other people buy from my affiliate link.
Dude, I have been around some people in the online coaching space at events. Because, dude, when we're at these events, we're all getting content for social media. We all are doing that, of
Yeah.
course. And I might be guilty. I do my Leezy's life, and so like I do this too.
Well, you have like a personal brand though. That's what I think is like it's sort of different. I
Yeah,
think
but
it's so great.
some of these people though, when you're around the people who do the thing just for social media, it's cringy as fuck. I'm like,
Mhm.
I can't. Like, we just spent 20 minutes taking pictures. I'm like, bro, no. Like, I can't.
No,
I wouldn't spend. Like, it just gets really. It's just cringy. But whatever. That's what fucking motherfuckers like to do. So
yeah,
yeah, I mean, this is great that we talked about your goals. We talked about a fucking lot of stuff. This was much more like an inspirational video, which is what I wanted to do. The tactical video, that's for the people who pay to be in this program. That's what we did last night.
yeah, yeah.
But this was great
That was fun
inspiration.
too.
Yeah, I mean, but I just wanted to. Obviously, I want to have this video, to celebrate you, give you your flowers, and inspire other people, bro. If Ange can do it, you can do it. If Leezy the Gifted can do it, you could do it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. If Ange
Yeah.
can make it, it's like you inspire me, Ange, because when I get on calls and I handle objections and I am in the DMs and I talk to these people, right? Grown ass men above my age making 4 to 6K a month. I'm like, damn, you're such a bitch because Ange is making 10 and she's like half your age. And then it's like, it gives me confidence
Yeah.
when I get on calls. Like, I can't wait to take more sales calls when I'm back from my 2 week trip because I'm going to think about you. I'm going to watch this interview again and be like, anybody, Lee, who doesn't sign up with you is dumb as fuck because look how great Ange is. You know what I mean? So you
Anyone
inspired
who doesn't
me.
sign up with you is dumb as fuck.
Thank you. Appreciate that. I'm gonna remember that one. Uh, well, where can people find you? I mean, I'll drop your link in the description, but where can people find you?
Yeah, my main stuff is on Instagram, at Ange Makes Music, and then also going to be on YouTube a lot more too. So at Ange Makes Music as well on there. Everywhere at Ange Makes Music.
Ange makes music.
Yeah,
And I'm super excited for us to continue to communicate. I'm super hyped for October 28th when we link up in person in San
me
Francisco.
too.
I'm gonna give you a big hug and we're gonna go have some fun. I'm so excited.
Sick.
That's gonna
I'm
be
really excited too. It's
me
gonna be
too.
fun.
Yeah. All right, Ange. Well, listen, have an awesome rest of your day. Thank you so much for this. Appreciate you.
Sweet. I appreciate you too. Okay, talk
All right.
soon.
See ya.